Have you ever been in a situation where you're in conversation with someone and you're having to have a specific outcome or result, and all of a sudden you're getting frustrated, you're getting uptight, and you're just ready to get aggressive and start demanding things from the other person that you're having the conversation with? Let me give you an example of where I experienced this recently, personally, I have to admit, and what I learned from it, and how I changed during the process in order to produce and get the results that I needed to produce and get in that specific situation. So this past Saturday, I went to the vehicle dealership here locally to purchase my truck. And I realized that, yes, I had the rate from a previous bank, but going to the dealership, they didn't have access or a relationship with that specific bank that I already had my financing through. Without getting into details, I was getting frustrated because in my mind, I had a certain expectation. We've talked about that before. I had a certain expectation of how that process was supposed to go, what it should look like. I thought I was just going to walk in there, say, hey, I've got this rate. All you have to do is go in the system, generate the docs. I'm going to sign. I'm going to walk out of here in the next 20, 30 minutes. What really happened was a cluster, you know what. They didn't have access to the financing that I needed. We had to resubmit, even though I had already submitted to multiple banks, as that's the process when you're trying to purchase a vehicle. And my credit had already been run multiple times, and I didn't want to go through that process again. I mean, I had already done it once. So I started to get fired up. And I realized, truly, I realized that it wasn't the fault of the individuals I was working with at this dealership. It certainly wasn't. And intellectually, I knew that. But my emotions just got fired up because my expectations weren't met, because I thought this was going to be a lot simpler. I wasn't expecting to go through all this crap in that particular day on this weekend when I had other things I needed to be getting done. So I could sense, and you can usually sense this, can't you, when you're in that scenario and your emotions and feelings and intensity of how you feel starts to get more and more and more intense to the point where you just want to say, listen up, this is what we need to do. This is BS. I can't believe this is going on right now. And maybe you don't, but if you ever have had that experience, you know what it's like. And what I realized in that moment was I was becoming aware of where my emotions were. I think the biggest obstacle to mastering ourselves is becoming more self-aware of our emotions, what triggers them, when they pop up, how we can start to more effectively and more fastly in any given situation control those emotions and take control of those emotions and use our emotions and our feelings intentionally to produce certain results. So I thought back to this book that I have read before called Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. And he talks about two brains that all of us, you and I, and everyone has. We have two brains. One brain is a fast-thinking brain. One brain is a slow-thinking brain. And if you think of brain thinking system 1, as he refers to it, as your automatic system, and the second brain as your slow processing thinking brain, then you'll realize just from the description of the two different types of brain systems that we have, or thinking systems that we have, the first one's automatic. It happens unconsciously. It happens whether you think about it or not. You go into a situation, you start having a conversation with an individual or a family member, a group or social setting, or at a vehicle dealership or somewhere where you're trying to make a large purchase, and you realize that something triggers you. Something triggers certain emotions. It doesn't have to be automatically you get to this point of intense aggression, but something triggers you to the point where you have emotions that you're feeling and thoughts and words that you want to spurt out that you know won't be productive, but nonetheless you've been triggered. And that is your automatic brain. We all have it. It's part of human nature. It's who we are. It's part of our natural instincts to just automatically react without even thinking consciously and intentionally. Your brain comes up with an answer, comes up with feelings, comes up with emotions that will help you, supposedly help you, in that given situation. But the more intelligent, thought-provoking brain or thinking system is your second system, which is slow and methodical and really dives deep into forward thinking in terms of what your reactions and words and behaviors what kind of results those things would produce for you. So the first thing I want to share with you is this, that you do have those two thinking systems, the automatic, fast thinking system, and the slower, more thought-provoking system. So anytime you're in that kind of situation where you feel that trigger, you feel those emotions bubbling up and you just want to attack, or you want to demand something from someone, or you want to yell at someone because you just want to get the result that you need without slowing down. When you feel that automatic system happen, it might be a word you say, it might be a thing you think, it might be just an image that you have in your mind. The first thing to do is realize that that's happened. The second thing to do is recognize that the only way you're going to produce the result that you're looking to produce, because think about it, anytime you're interacting with another human being or group of people, how are you going to produce the best results? By attacking and going at that individual or those other individuals? Or are you going to be in a much significantly better position to cooperate and interact and create some kind of beneficial result that you need by slowing down, using brain system 2 or your thinking system 2, which is much slower, much more methodical. And the way you can get to that position is to really just take a deep breath, recognize that the only way to work through this and connect with the other people and produce the results is to appreciate that you've got to have a positive attitude, maybe even smile a little bit. Get yourself into that state of, I need to interact well with these people, with the other individual. I need to find a way to connect and build rapport and develop this relationship, because if all I want to do is attack this other person, if all I want to do is say things that will get this person to do exactly what I need them to do or want them to do, that might not be the best way to get the best results for you. All I want to encourage you with is this. When you find yourself in those situations where your fast thinking automatic system pops up and just wants to throw out answers out of your mouth that pop up in your brain, slow down. Slow way down and take a third-party perspective view on your interaction with the other person and realize what's going to help you to produce the result. And that is cooperation. That is a positive attitude. That is an optimistic outlook and rapport building and relationship building and finding a way to connect faster, more effectively with the people that you're interacting with or negotiating with or whatever term it is that you want to use for these situations. So, to wrap this up, recognize you've got two brain thinking systems, the fast automatic, the slow methodical, and you've got to use the second as effectively as possible, because in many cases, if you haven't yet trained and conditioned your automatic fast thinking brain, it's probably not necessarily producing those immediate thoughts and words and actions that are in your best interest or that are in the best interest of producing the results that you need. So the first step is to become aware of that. The second step is to start slowing yourself down and intentionally using the appropriate thinking system in any scenario you find yourself in to produce the results you need. My name's JJ Peller. I would love for you to subscribe to these videos here on YouTube. Click the button if you want more videos exactly like this, where I'm sharing some simple yet powerful and impactful thoughts, ideas, strategies, tactics, whatever you want to call them, for personal success, for self-mastery, and for becoming that kind of person that you know you're meant to become to achieve extraordinary results in your life, personally, professionally. Because at the end of the day, by becoming that kind of person that you know you're capable of becoming, if you are that ambitious kind of individual, as you become more, you can give more, you can serve more value to even more people. And to me, that's the game of life. That's what's exciting, that's what's thrilling, that's what keeps this passionate and excitement and keeps me juiced about every single day of life, is that journey of progressive improvement and becoming more, not just for the sake of becoming more, but for the fact that I know as I become more, I can give more to more people. And I hope you're on that journey too. I hope that you'll have that mindset, because I know that as we can figure out how to do more for more people, this world just becomes an extraordinary place. It is already a beautiful place, but as we can get more people on that mindset, on that path to achieving more and serving even more people, even better value, even more frequently, it just makes everything more exciting, more fun, and more extraordinary as we live this awesome kind of life. And no matter what success you're pursuing, no matter what achievement you are going after, always remember, have fun and be awesome. Enjoy.